powered by Riverside.
That's my impression of a ghost. Welcome to Gorp. Gorp stands for Goblins Only Read Paranormal. This is the show where we have a theme today. It's Halloween. We draw from a grab bag of treats. These are topics from which we discuss stuff. We might go off topic. But as we said, today is Halloween. I'm Josh.
I'm Jess.
I'm Brooke.
And I am Fry.
Let's go over these costumes here. These are good.
Okay, you first.
Oh, well, I blew myself. What about you?
I am the High Lady of the Night Court. I am an Illyrian, so I have wings, and I have a crown because I'm a queen. I have, elf ears, but I had to take them off for my headset, which makes me a little sad, but it hurt.
Show us, while Brooke goes, put them on really quick so we can see you on camera with them
Okay.
on.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm the Scream guy. I was going to bring a knife, but I thought that might be too much.
I mean, are you going to stab us through the screen? That is perfect, Jess. That
Yeah,
looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are good. Wow, those are
Aren't
good.
they
Yeah.
freaking cool?
Those are really
Yeah.
cool.
I love them so much.
Wow.
That's
Are
what
you
you
the guy
guys are
from
missing.
Scream? Are you the guy from Scream in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth movie?
Oh,
Or the TV show.
Or the TV show?
Shoot. I'm going to go with Scream the original.
Oh.
Okay.
I think that's one of the best. Scream 1 or Scream 2 is my favorite, so.
Mm.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go with Matthew Lillard.
Do you think Scream was maybe one of the first meta-type horrors where they, discuss horror within the horror? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I think it's the first horror movie where they ever took out, the big money star right away.
You're a big money star.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Because they killed Drew Barrymore in, the first 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, geez. What if I've never seen that?
I've never seen it.
Oh, well, then that's why no one got the Matthew Lillard joke that I said.
I
Got
like
it.
Matthew Lillard, but I've never seen it.
Everybody likes Matthew Lillard. Matthew?
He's a treasure.
Oh, so we should go over topics, right?
Well, I'm a Raiders
What's up?
fan rocking a Ronnie Lott jersey. But I don't matter because I don't have face paint on, according to Josh. So
Oh, you matter so much. You look like a diehard bandwagon fan. Here's the topics. The first one is appropriation.
we're not doing that.
It's out. All right, next. Halloween songs. Halloween songs.
Why don't we let Ghostface start?
I actually had this conversation with my husband the other day. What is my favorite Halloween song? And I think the Monster Mash, or the Monster Mash, I don't know. I love that song.
Have you seen the video?
It was a graveyard smash. Sorry, what?
Have you seen the video?
No.
You got to watch the original singing of that video. It's incredible because he's singing the song, and the whole time he's making scary goblin faces. But he's doing it like it's a live cut, so he's singing it just like the recording, but he's making these crazy faces the whole time. It's great.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Brooke, I know we did sitcoms on the last episode. And for those of you that are watching now, go back and check out that episode if you missed it. But it's funny that you said Monster Mash because I just watched the episode of The Office where Pam is talking about Jim's new career opportunity as the Monster Mash, and Kevin's like, "I learned something about Pam today. She really is the Monster Mash."
That's a good one.
That is good.
Yeah, Office had good Halloween-y episodes.
Yeah, they did.
For
Yeah.
sure. The song that comes to me, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know the song, really. I've only heard it twice or three times. I don't know. But in grade school, we watched the show. I forgot what it's called, but Witch is in the title. And they go to witch school like Hogwarts. And Tim Curry is the headmaster. and he sings the song, and nothing can happen on the Halloween. It's like kind of sexy, but it's like a kid show. And it's very topical. It talks about like putting a spell through the tape deck type of. It's really old school, terrible. Love it. Look it up. Tim Curry Halloween song.
When did you watch it?
I watched it a couple times in high school, and then like throughout my adulthood, once in a while I would YouTube it because it's a very entertaining episode. It's Tim Curry when he's like 35 or something.
Oh, you're talking about The Worst Witch.
Worst Witch. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My Anna still likes that movie. She still watches that movie.
It's bad.
Oh, come on. Josh, you've known Anna
But
for a
Tim
long time.
Curry.
She likes really bad. She likes really bad movies.
Yeah, well, people do. I don't know.
What about you, Jess?
I'm gonna go with. Well, there's one in my head right now because the kids were just watching. It's like Halloween, and that's just like a kids' TV show thing. And the other one is "Put a Spell on You" from Hocus Pocus. Like,
Spell on you.
Yeah, that.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, I just watched that the other day too.
Yeah.
The new one?
Oh, you're talking about
I
Bette
watched that
Midler?
one last night. Yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
It was good. Like, I liked it. You just have to remember that the first one is campy, and so the second one is campy. Like it's not like great cinema, but I liked it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think Hocus Pocus 1 is so great because it's so campy and it like didn't belong in its era, but it was very much its era. It was sprinkles of everything.
I like it.
I was gonna say it's a standard setter, kind of like The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Like it was like it's one of those that will be with you forever.
Yeah.
I would say my song is one that no one knows because it wasn't like widely listened to, but it was off the first Scooby-Doo movie. And it's by Outkast, and it's like, in the land of a million drums, there is always something going on.
That's tight.
On. And
Ooh.
it's got like,
speaking of Scooby-Doo, the one with like the witches where they go to like Salem, that song in that movie is probably one of the best in Scooby-Doo
what song
movies.
you're talking about. You're going to have to give more details.
Try it out.
It'll come to me. Oh my god!
I just sang mine. I
know,
put myself out
but
there.
I wasn't mentally prepared.
Okay. All right. It's okay.
I just said
Well,
Scooby-Doo and it dogged you, but yeah. Was I right, though? None of you guys have heard that song by Outkast?
No, sir, I have not.
Mm-mm.
Check it out. I think Josh will really like it because he likes Outkast. But
Andre 3000 is one of the greatest. He's top 5 ever, all time.
It's a really fun song by them that they did for Scooby-Doo, and it's a Halloween song called "In the Land of a Million Drums."
That's tight. I'm going to check that out.
Or maybe
We'll set the link in the bio.
Yeah.
So
You guys
what's
ready
next
for,
then? Yeah, what's next then? Ghostface actually looks
The
like
Hex Girls. We're the Hex Girls, and we're gonna put a spell on you. Yeah, we're
No.
put a spell on you. That one. You got it.
Ghostface. My favorite thing is when you start to head bob or you start to dance, your little ghost costume in the background moves around.
This little thing.
Yes.
The tail. Truth or
Sorry,
myth?
Josh.
Truth or myth?
Yeah. Like, what does that mean? What is truth or myth?
Like the lies our parents would tell us on Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now that we're older, is it like a truth or do we still think it's a myth? So let's start with the parent. What do you think, Josh? Should we start with the parent?
Sure. Like fentanyl in the candy.
I mean, have I found any fentanyl or needles in my kids' candies? No. Have I told them that I may have found some open candies so I could keep them? Yes.
It's all for a purpose.
Yeah, Reese's. You get that candy
Okay.
tax. Because you got to walk them around the big ass neighborhood. So you get the candy from the bags.
Yeah.
They don't pass out alcohol at the houses.
So your parental regime is based off of subterfuge and propaganda.
I mean, I could probably just go buy a bag of candy, but what's the fun in that?
You're the parent that
Yeah.
told the kids the ice cream is gross, so they never eat ice cream, and then
Oh,
you're
that's a
hiding
lie.
ice cream.
I do tell them that there is alcohol in a lot of things, or that it's spicy. That one stopped working on my daughter though, because she loves spicy food. So everything has alcohol in it now.
Like one of those candies with the whiskey. Those are great.
Rum
That's
chocolates. The rum chocolates are delicious.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Those
you,
are
Brooke?
good
What was like the biggest myth, or that is either true or still a myth that you had heard when you were a kid or now?
Well, okay. Where I'm from, we have this myth that a bus broke down on this railroad tracks and kids died. It's like this big story, and all the people put like baby powder on their car bumper to
No
see
fucking
if there's handprints, and
No
people do that
fucking way.
every year. Yeah,
Brooke, that's where you're from?
I don't know. People do it.
I've heard that story.
Yeah.
Like that horror story where and they have the fingerprints on their tailgate after they put the baby
No,
powder on.
wait.
Yeah.
Let me just interject, because the same thing happens in Colorado Springs. And we go to Gold Camp Road Tunnel, and it was a bus, and it caved in on them, and then you do the thing, and you go into that. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
bad. So it's a national myth that people just make up, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Wow.
Okay.
So both you guys lived through Simon Birch.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I knew the guy. He was great. Real funny.
I like that. That was a really good place to take it, Brooke, by the way. That was. Do you believe it's a truth or a myth?
Oh, I think that spirits are all around us, and I think that they do have powers and abilities, and I think that they probably are heightened on Halloween. So it's probably a fake story that they tell people, but I think it could be true in some places.
Okay.
Oh, sure, man. If I want to get real hippie, I'm
Yeah.
not sure that there are ghosts per se, but there are definitely energies that remain, whatever that is, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like in a movie where it's like, I died here, so now I have to stay here.
Yeah.
You know, but that energy, you know, like the Grudge. That's the whole premise of the Grudge. The energy stays. All that hate.
So I was raised Catholic, and Ouija boards, like, I will not go near one. I
Yeah.
will not touch one. I will not have it in my house. Like, I am, like, the fear is instilled, because if there's good, there is bad, and we don't want the bad in our life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep that away.
Yeah.
Well, like one half of me would say the Ouija board was invented in the 50s by a white guy who was old and just wanted to do something silly. But the other half of me is, who cares what the tool is? If you're channeling energy,
Yes.
that sounds like I don't want
That
to.
sounds like a pickup line, Josh. I'm not gonna lie. Who cares what the tool is as long as you're channeling energy, right?
No, I'm gonna keep going. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. What's your truth or myth?
I don't know about stuff like my parents told me, but that was a
Yeah.
thing in high school. Was Gold Camp Road with the tunnel where the kids died. It's been since
Yeah.
hollowed out, but you can't go in there. With the baby powder, you see the fingertips. But I went in that fucking tunnel when I was like 20, and we lit a fire, smoked a bunch of blunts, and it was fun. Nobody fucked with us. Whatever. As far as parents, I don't know, but there's stuff like Candyman, that's not necessarily Halloween related. Bloody Mary, I was all about those things. Like, those are fucking, I'm not doing it. I've never done it.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I'm not fucking doing it. I don't care. I'm not doing it.
I've
Oh
done
my
it
gosh.
a lot. I've done all three of. I don't know, man. I push the boundaries. My wife says it's gonna kill me one day.
Yeah.
I slept in like hotel rooms that are supposedly haunted just to see if anything happened. She's like, if you bring that shit back with you, I'm divorcing your ass. And I'm like, okay, but I mean, like, I've got a vacuum cleaner and I've played Luigi's Haunted Mansion. I kind of know how.
No.
I remember, I think it was like middle school. I stayed at a friend's house. It was like a big sleepover. There were probably like 10 of us there. And they like wanted to do a seance with like the candles and shit. I hid in the bathroom and cried.
Oh no.
I was like, nope, this is nope.
You don't know what you're going to bring back, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
plane
know.
is ephemeral.
I did something, I think, when Jess and I were closer. I think she would never do this thing with me, and there was like supposedly a haunted mansion or a haunted mental health asylum on the Air Force
Oh.
Base.
Oh, I remember
closed
hearing
down
that
its
story,
curtains. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
and I don't think she would go. And I think when we stopped hanging out so much, I ended up going with a bunch of people. And it was,
Jesus.
I found it yeah, we broke into it and we were walking
No.
through the mental health
Yeah.
asylum. And like there was a spray paint on the walls. And then everybody got
No.
scared and they left. And I was like, well, I just want to go further. And everybody's like, no, I'm done. I can't do this
No.
anymore. And I was like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, they all
What,
bounced.
man?
We ended up going to like the train station, like the old rundown
Yeah.
train station in the middle of Albuquerque, and I was sitting up there by the car just with another person, and then all of a sudden, like this group of like 8 guys just come rushing out of the train station because something, like it was probably a homeless person or something that like made the sound,
Yeah.
but they ran and they climbed this like 8-foot fence so fast.
Do you think the ghost that was chasing them yelled, "Don't you guys have any crystal"? I know we got to change the subject or the next topic. I will say
Yeah.
mine was always the razor blades in the candy.
Oh, yeah.
My parents were
come
like
on.
really about that. Like, there's gonna be and I think it was on the Jess shit. But it reminded me there's a Chuck Norris movie where he has to like where he trains his kid, and I can't remember. It's like a really old '80s movie with Chuck Norris and this kid. But like this kid like envisions being like a crime fighter guy, right? And they go to like this kid's visions, and it's a guy on top of a like making gum in a gum factory, and he's like, more razor blades in the gum, and put some room in the candy. And he's like, and make sure you poison their chocolates. And I was like, I thought it was real for a little bit because of that movie.
That's great.
It's a Chuck Norris terrible movie, and I thought Josh would.
It sounds pretty bad. No.
He's seen all of those movies. But yeah, if you ever see it, Chuck Norris and a kid, like look it up and you'll see it. Like, more razor blades in the bubble gum.
I'm not sure if I want to look up Chuck Norris and a kid. Anyway.
Not that type of podcast.
Costumes. Costumes. What do you, costumes? I'll start with just very briefly. Didn't have a lot of money to go around when I was a kid, per se.
Mhm.
So I was a ghost quite a bit. Sheet, a little bit of
A
eyeshadow.
white guy in a sheet, huh? You want to go with that? Should we dig
Oh,
deeper?
God. Wow. See you guys later.
So my mom was super into Halloween. I've kind of absorbed that from her. And she homemade all of our costumes. And it was partially because we didn't have money and we couldn't go out and buy them. So she would just start like early September making these costumes by hand.
Holy God.
Yeah, I know. She's crazy. And one of my favorites, my high school, the like mascot is the Storm. So my sister and I were like thunderbolts and lightning clouds one year, and she like cut it out of styrofoam and painted it and built like a lightning bolt through it. We won a lot of costume contests. And
That's
That's
hot.
awesome.
I blame my mom though, because now I have to overdo what I did last year.
Uh-huh.
It's a fun thing to love. You know?
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
really cool.
Yeah.
This really is the best holiday for that, and it's awesome. It's just be creative, be weird. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Best holiday.
Yeah, I agree.
Be someone else. What's your favorite costume you've ever had, Brooke? Since we're on costumes, I don't think we really narrowed it.
Yeah.
You know what? I love every excuse to dress up. I think one of my favorites, well, I'll just do last year. Last year I was handsome Squidward for Halloween. And it was so much fun. Like, I got
That's
to
awesome.
dance around and be kind of goofy instead of, like, I don't know, I'm a girl. So, like, dressing up, I'm usually, like, sexy. And I can't really bend over because you might see my bits. But being Squidward, I didn't worry about that. So, probably that one.
Did you have a mask or makeup or what?
Okay, I just actually had a sticker and I put it on a popsicle stick and I would just hold it up to my face.
That's
It
perfect
worked.
because face paint and masks are like it's always a problem. It's problematic in some way, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
Josh, before we move on to Jess, what was your favorite costume you ever did? We didn't get that.
I guess the one I've gone back to it 2 or 3 times just because it's so easy and I like it. Is I just dress up as like a general punk, you know? So like I had a Ramones t-shirt and I found some leather of some kind, like beat up shit. I had combat boots because I was in the service, and then I figured out. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No,
I figured out how to fake piercings, like a safety pin. Just stick it sideways in your mouth, and it looks like both cheeks are just pierced. And then you get like paper clips, and you cut them into half circles, and you can just pinch yourself, and it doesn't really bother you. You can just pump your face full of metal. It's great. And then eyeliner, torn up jeans, bing bong. It was, and usually I would do a mohawk or something.
Yeah,
so much fun, easy peasy.
You did that at Kirtland, and Jessica and I were hanging out, and Jess, like, we went back somewhere. We were in the kitchen, and she goes, "I think Josh has wanted to do that his entire life."
Yeah,
like a punk rock.
A way better memory than I do. Like, that is gone.
I'll show you the picture from MySpace. So my favorite costume that I wore, we'll get to Jess last. My favorite costume that I ever did, it's always one that I made, right?
Yeah.
Was probably I did Lucifer, and I went out and I bought like a really dark red shirt, and I had a black blazer and a suit, and I bought like leather black shoes, and I walked around with a cigar, spray painted my hair red and spiked it up. Josh super glued horns to my head and got super glue in my eye, and then he had to put like stuff to remove it from my eye, so my eye was all red. But yeah, but we were dedicated because Josh was like, "Oh, you can wear these horns," but they had that stupid elastic. I was like, "No, that's dumb. That I'm gonna look stupid." So I was like, super glue them to my forehead, and he super glued the horns to my forehead.
Did you lose your skin when you?
No, it wasn't that bad. Super glue's not that bad.
No, the super glue in the eye sucked because it like dripped right into my eye, and he had to literally try to get it removed. Yeah, he tried to get it removed really fast, so he was like scrubbing my eyeball with his hand to try to get the super glue out of my eye.
So you had one bloodshot eye that was perfect for the costume.
Yeah, exactly. I know, like Josh, I was broke a lot, but I played football, so I could usually throw like a football jersey over something and be like a football player every year.
Yep.
But one year we bought these blood capsules that you bite down, and it looks like you're bleeding blood out of your mouth. So I had it, and I accidentally bit down on it before recess in class. And I remember in 5th grade, Miss Mahoney's class, I'm sitting in the back, and of course I'm in the back this day, and they pass all the spelling tests to the back, right? And then you collect them and you give them to the teacher. And as all the spelling tests got to the back, I bit it on accident and spit blood all over everyone's spelling test. And yo,
Thanks.
Fifth graders were so mad at me. They're like, what the flippin' fry? Or Brandon, whatever they called me back then. And they were like, I remember like this one girl, Sammy Foster. Don't worry, she doesn't exist anymore. She probably does, but she doesn't matter.
Terrible.
She was like a nothing person.
But I remember she was so furious with me because I was like, she thought she was going to be some national scholar. And if only I could go back in time and be like, look, you're kind of being a 5th grade bitch, and this talent you have for spelling, in 2008, it's going to be obsolete because there's going to be this thing we call a cell phone.
Yeah.
I
used
think
to be really proud of my spelling skills, but it doesn't matter. No, what are you going to have to use?
I'm
What
going
was
to have
that,
to
Brooke?
use that 5th grade bitch line maybe once in a while now.
5th grade bitch?
Oh man.
You're a 5th grade bitch?
Drew. Sorry.
I remember one regrettable costume, accidentally. I think it was like 90, I don't know, maybe 99, 98. Me and my old, like, longtime friend, middle school, decided to be vampires. And we wanted to be edgy, like vampires from the 90s. So we wore black trench coats, and we got black. And we dyed our hair black and slicked it back. And then we got little fangs, right? And some blood capsules, so we're bleeding. And then we went to the mall, because the mall was the place you went. Everyone went around and got their candy.
And this is in Colorado.
And the whole time, like, we're like insecure middle school kids. So we never, we're vampires. No. So everyone's like, oh, Columbine kids. I'm like, God damn it. Jesus. Why are we
As
here?
soon as you made the Colorado reference, I was like, oh no.
No, I'm sorry. In middle school, I was in Louisiana, but it didn't matter because it was so relevant.
Yeah.
My bad. I live in Colorado now, but back then, it was Louisiana.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I could see when the light bulb went off in Jess's head of what was going on.
It was ridiculous. Those fangs cost $40, and my mom did not have that money, and we never did the thing.
So I know we're going on the next topic. I just want to do some housekeeping really quick. Just to go back, the most regrettable costume you had was accidentally dressing up like Columbine.
Yep.
And it was not being the white guy in the white sheet.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
that's right.
I just wanted to clean all that up really quick before.
My favorite costume before we go on. 5th grade, I was Scary Spice. I wore a full body leopard print bodysuit.
Good job.
And I I had like the back of my hair. Obviously, it's curly, but it was like that, like matted out. And then I did like the cone buns on the top of my head. Coolest costume ever. And I did it with all my friends, and I always got Scary Spice because I was the dark one, and I was one of the crazy hair. So,
because I was the closest to black, is what you just said.
No.
Black. I loved her. I didn't care. It was I've never worn a bodysuit.
And it's something you can wear today. No, you can pull it off today. You could be Scary Spice again today.
Scary Spice is my number 2 favorite. Regular Spice. All the spices, she's number 2.
Yeah, I could not fit in that bodysuit anymore. My thighs would destroy it.
My thighs?
They're powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
What's next, sir?
Oh, you want something next? Here we go. We got, are the kids safe? As a parent, do you send your kids just out, like, without supervision? Because when I was a kid, we just went out. Like when I was like grade school, I guess I had chaperone, but like 5th to 7th grade,
I trick or treated until I was like 16.
Yeah, I remember rolling around. I think I was 13, but rollerblading around at like 13. I always felt fine on Halloween.
Yeah, you did, but I'm saying like the kids these days.
Well, I think a lot of people are doing like trunk or treat type things where people aren't walking from neighborhood to neighborhood anymore.
Trunk or treat.
Trick or treating like traditionally is dead. Like it's
people stop.
Trunk or treating is dead, or trick or treating is dead?
Traditional trick or treating, like house to house from sundown until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. It's dead. Like they do trunk or treats in church parking lots. They do them at like grocery stores. Sorry, Brooke, I didn't even interrupt you, but it pisses me off so much.
I just got mad with you saying that.
Yeah.
But, come to think of it, I did mention I went to the mall at one point. I used to go to the hospital at one point as a kid. Yeah. So it's been around since then, and I didn't trick-or-treat every year, like, in the neighborhoods, but I have. Yeah.
We would always go to, like, the old people's homes. I don't know, the, like, retirement homes. We would just do, they loved it, and we got a ton of candy. But
sure.
Were they all Werther's Originals?
Oh, yeah. So many. And peppermints.
Oh, I love a Werther's, but
I like those peanut butter candies and like the orange and like the black wrappers. You only get them at Halloween. You get them from like the dollar store. Those are my favorite.
Or Dum Dums. Dum Dums always make an appearance on Halloween. Anyway, I think that's another topic, and we're going.
I'll trade your root beer for a cream soda.
But yeah, trick or treating these days is not as fun as it used to be.
No, I would say though. The only time I almost, a kid was in danger was I opened my door to give him candy, and I was like, oh, cool, Boba Fett. And he looked me dead in my eyes and was like, I'm the Mando. Oh. And I'm like, shut up.
I almost pulled out my 22. Get that kid.
Your parents have failed you. That's what I wanted to say. I did.
It's the Mando, bro. All right. This is the, read it. It's haunted houses. Hey. You guys go to those? You guys like those? I don't. Oof.
Brooke,
No,
Go ahead, because
Mitch,
you're in the haunted house right now. It looks like, bro. Like you've got the light, the ghost
waiting
face.
for the first kid to come in your room.
Whoa.
Okay, haunted
Verbiage,
houses.
phrasing.
I don't really like phrasing. I don't really like haunted houses. I've been to a couple of them, and like I do okay, but like I just go into like, okay, I need to get out of here right now.
Yeah.
and
I'm on a budget.
and so like I push people out of the way, like I don't mess around. So it's just better if I don't go.
I haven't been to one since middle school. I went to when I was a kid, I went to one in Oregon. There's a place called the Enchanted Forest, and it's mostly fairy tale stuff. But there's one haunted house. I've been there half the time I've been there. Been to the Enchanted Forest. Half the time I've been there, I've been to the haunted house, and it's not that scary, but it freaked me out. And ever since, the last time I went to one, I faked an asthma attack so I could sleep. It's 14. Yep.
Sorry, I'm laughing with you because
I'm laughing at
I
you.
would have done the same thing.
So I'm in good company, I guess. Like, so the Van Helsing haunted house or whatever. I don't know if any of you have been into it, but I went into that thing and I was crying by the end of it. I do not do haunted houses. My anxiety is too high for jump scares.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to jump out at this tiny little woman. I cried.
Same.
So that's why your asthma attack. Just like, I would do it.
Yeah. Just existing is hard enough. I don't want to pretend a goblin's going to eat me. You know what I mean?
I will tell you, I love haunted houses. I go to all the ones that are like at the movie studios and stuff like that. I've done Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. I got 3 good stories. I'm going to try to tell them as fast as possible because you guys are a bunch of like, don't take me to a haunted house. I will die. I will literally die.
Real quick before you start, you remember when you took me to Universal and you were busy, but I went to the Walking Dead thing.
You walked out. You told me you walked out.
I walked all the way through the line because it was empty, so I walked all the way through. But the whole time you hear all the sounds and all the this and that, and they get the ambiances growing. And I'm like, oh, there's the door to the real thing? Nope. So I left and got a beer.
I love you.
All right,
nope, not for me. It's funny because you're big, too. So if there was anyone coming in behind you, they were like, if he's not going in.
Oh, yeah, but it was empty. At that time, it was just me going through the whole turnstile thing. So luckily, because if there was someone in there, I would have been like, I guess I got to do it. Maybe not.
So,
all right, hit us.
I'll try to get these out really quick. First one actually takes place at the Walking Dead in Universal Studios.
Okay.
My little sister Athena is like, my wife calls her super dramatic because my wife is terrified of these places to the point where if I go too fast and she can't clutch my wrist, she yells at me outside. She's like, "You left me there. You just left me there to die." I was like, they literally won't kill you.
Awesome.
But my little sister Athena jumps backwards and lands on my wife's ankle and like twists my wife's ankle for the rest of the time we were there. And it was like one of the first things we did. And she's like, my wife would be like, if Athena wasn't so goddamn. And it was the first time I've ever seen Anna not scared in the haunted houses because she just wanted to get out of there because she's like limping her way out, like trying to get out and like pushing zombies out of her way. Second story, Halloween Horror Nights. Supernatural was one of the themes, so they had the not supernatural. Pardon me. Stranger Things is what I was thinking of. Stranger Things, and the line to get into Stranger Things was like insanely long. And at one point, this guy starts yelling at his girlfriend, right? And we're like, "What is going on?" And then you start to hear why he's yelling. And apparently, she made a comment about the line being so long, and he was like, "Well, if you wanted to get out, you should have just told me. Now we've been in it for this long anyway." So long story short, he starts cutting away from her and like sliding his way up the line and just ditches this poor girl by herself. And I love telling this story to Brooke because she looks shocked.
I am.
Can you tell?
So So this guy like just abandons this girlfriend in the Stranger Things, and this poor girl, we wanted to adopt her because we were like with a decent sized group, and she had to go through the whole haunted house by herself. And then he was sitting outside waiting for her, and I remember I walked by him and I was like, "Oh, so now you're gonna wait for her?" As I left. But it was like my wife and I still to this day we still tell that story about like what a dick that guy was. He just left her there.
Dang.
And then the last story was, some of you guys know this person. His name is Matthew Wilson. I don't think he listens. He used to be cool. He's not so cool anymore. So we went to Los Angeles together, and with a girlfriend of mine at the time. And we went to this haunted house. And this little kid in front of us, we knew, because we had already been through this haunted house once, we knew there's a place in the haunted house where a werewolf starts like way far back. Okay, and he comes up running, and he jumps onto the cage like really high, and he shakes the cage as he jumps up to it. And this little kid, like, he's just walking through. He's already scared. You can kind of tell he's wearing these little flip-flops, man. He's wearing little flip-flops and a hat. And the werewolf comes, and right as that kid hits that bridge, the werewolf hits the fence at the bridge, and the kid goes, and he takes off running so fast that his shoes flip off into the air, like it's his shoes. And then he's running. I'm picking up his clothes for him, and his hat flies off his head. And I was like in tears laughing, and I'm chasing him out, and I ran into him outside, and I was hugging his mom's leg. I give his mom his shoes and his hat.
Oh, boy.
So this is kind of related. So there's a haunted house here in Utah. It's super expensive, but you can basically paid to get like waterboarded and tortured, and it's like that type of like mind fuck haunted house.
So I suppose as we're getting closer to the end, how many topics do we have left, Josh?
I think we got 4 in here. Should I pull 2 randomly, or?
Yeah, let's do 2, and you guys want to just do rapid fire on each one?
One sentence for rapid fire? Yes,
Yeah.
Just clarifying rules.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sometimes
absolutely.
we forget. Right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
All right,
fair.
The first one is candy. And the second one, oh no.
Rip the paper.
Spooky stories.
Spooky stories.
I think we already covered that earlier.
Let's
Yeah,
cover both.
pull another
We've
one.
talked about. Let's pull 2 more. Those 2 we've been covered at least a little bit. Shoot. Trick or treat. And then Halloween histories. I don't know.
Well, Brooke,
of those
why don't you
4.
give us Halloween history? How about that?
Oh yeah, Brooke, it is.
We'll end strong with Brooke's Halloween history. So
Let's
I
just
don't
go
think
Halloween
so.
histories.
Yeah, I think Brooke, you just give us Halloween histories because we those 3 we kind of covered.
All right.
We all love Halloween. Let's get the whole thing.
Well, I don't really know too
All
much
right.
about the history of Halloween. I was actually hoping to kind of share what we know collectively. But what I do know is that it comes from like Celtic and English old tradition. And I don't think it used to be in October. I think it used to be more like March time period.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And I mean, I know of the Day of the Dead and that celebration, but I don't know much. So I'd love to hear anybody else has anything. Sorry that I don't have.
Well, yeah, no problem. I mean,
okay.
I think no one really knows a lot about Halloween, but I did see a History Channel old school documentary about Halloween a little bit today. And they said it came from, like you said, Celtic history, Celtic traditions. And I think they said that it was the 14th that was their version of it. I think it was called Soars or something. Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was a Celtic word. Gaelic.
Sauron.
Sauron. It was Sauron.
Yeah.
And the idea was that at this point in the end of harvest and the beginning of the death season, they had 2 seasons back then. The end of the harvest, and this is the time when the dead and the living plane are the most meshed, and you did a lot of things to honor the dead. And then the church came in and changed that to All Saints Day. So we blended with some pagan stuff. We moved it to October 31st to eliminate the pagan culture. We moved it forward. That's how white people think they just reschedule it. And All Saints Day was just for the saints, so All Hallows Eve was the 31st, and that became All Hallow Even shortened, and then it became Halloween shortened even further. But it's actually one of the coolest that I've ever read up on as far as holidays, because it evolved. Like the trick or treat wasn't until like the 40s or 30s of 1930, and then honoring the dead was before and after the Christian. Anyway, it's pretty cool.
That is interesting.
One of the few things that white people get up with. Let's say that.
All I know about Halloween is the Halloween tree. Sorry, Jess.
Oh, you're fine.
Go ahead,
I was going to say, can we just like petition to move Halloween, like the celebration of it, to, like the Friday or Saturday, like last Friday or last Saturday of October? Because
or Thanksgiving status.
Monday night trick or treating, like or trunk or treating, is going to be rough.
Gotcha. No, so no one's seen the Halloween tree here. Never
heard of it.
Oh my gosh, you guys, all of you would love that movie. And Jess, it's animated. It's a kids movie. It's called The Halloween Tree. How about this? I do have a rapid fire. I don't have a lot, Brooke, on the history of Halloween. I apologize, but that's my recommendation. Check out The Halloween Tree. I believe that's what it was called. But yeah, it's really good. It goes into what you said, Day of the Dead, Dia los Muertos, or something like that.
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos, thank you.
Spanish.
Yeah, so it goes into that stuff. How about a rapid fire on your favorite Halloween candy? How's that sound for everyone? Because we didn't say our favorite Halloween candy. Like the one where someone dropped it in your pillow sack, because we were all broke here, so I'm sure you were in the same bucket as me, where it was just a pillow sack that you pulled off your pillow. So what was the favorite one for you, Jess? We'll just start with you.
Oh, like I said earlier, it was the peanut butter candy, like the peanut butter ones, like in the orange and black wrappers. Like, I don't know why, but I love them. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. The cheap ones. Yeah. Yeah, those are delicious. They're like peanut butter taffy. Okay, I got you.
It's like taffy, but peanut butter.
Yeah. All right, Brooke, what about you?
Oh, I like those. They're red. They look like a strawberry. Looks like a strawberry on the package, and they're like red, and then they have a soft center.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, when you said the package, that's a strawberry. I know. I always bite them though. Can you ever like use them as like cough drops almost and like suck on them? Because I can't. I just bite right in.
It's not good that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now Jess realizes what they are.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I don't know. It's not my favorite candy, but my favorite Halloween candy, because I've only seen it for Halloween, is Sixlets.
Oh, you took mine, you...
Cut that. All right, I said before. Sixlet.
Well, I guess surprise
I haven't.
That's incredible.
I
don't know anyone else who has appreciated Sixlets like me. So hats off to you, sir.
My mom loves them.
Yeah, they're so good.
You only see them on Halloweenies, dog.
Yeah, that's it. Because they come in like the multi-pack, I think. Yeah, they come in like the...
Oh,
yeah.
Do you
I had to Google what they were.
Straight in, yeah.
I love those candies.
They're so good.
So good.
I suppose that I'll go with my on deck or my second best. I like lemon heads a lot, and not a lot of people like lemon heads.
I don't
like a lot of old people candy. I would just...
Yeah, it's
I like the frozen butter.
They're easy on the teeth.
Anyway, I guess that's Halloween, guys. I hope you guys have the best time, have the spookiest time, and get with some ghosts or get with nature. This is the end of the summer times as far as the Celtic tradition, and get that coat on.
Get that coat. Josh, where can they reach you?
Oh, I'm JR Berkeley on the gram, and you can find Gorp Show at Gorp Show on Twitter or Gorp Show on the gram, baby.
Brooke? Jess?
You can find me at Bookish Nerdy Jess on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, and you can always reach us on YouTube at the Sad Fan Podcast Network. I am currently in a fight with Twitter over them slapping a phone number verification on the Sad Fan Pod page. So that doesn't exist. So just reach out to me at thesadfan12, and I will refer you to anything that's going on here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you guys
Bye.
be good. Keep going. Nah.